I want to welcome everyone to our third Texas Impaired Driving Safety Awards. I'm Lisa Robinson, and I serve as the chairman of the Texas Impaired Driving Task Force Awards Subcommittee. These awards are conferred on by the Texas Impaired Driving Task Force and the Texas Department of Transportation, for those who aren't familiar. They recognize those efforts that have made a significant impact in reducing or deterring impaired driving in the past calendar or fiscal year. The Texas Impaired Driving Task Force confers 3 awards: Honorable Mention, the Impaired Driving Difference Maker, and the Impaired Driving Safety Champion. This year, the subcommittee felt that due to the nomination strengths, it was beneficial to bring forth 3 Impaired Driving Difference Makers and no honorable mentions. Each of the Difference Makers nominations represented a different facet of the impaired driving safety spectrum and were equally deserving. The Texas Impaired Driving Task Force approved moving forward with 1 safety champion and 3 Difference Maker Award recipients. So let's get started. We're going to start with the 2021 Impaired Driving Difference Maker Award recipients. Without further ado this year, the award is being given to officers Ariel Bell, Yancey Green, and Ryan Carnes of the Denton Police Department. Officers Dane Bryant, Jeff Hogue of the Abilene Police Department, Capital Metro, Austin Public Transit. We will start our Difference Maker Award presentation off with officers Ariel Bell, Yancey Green, Ryan Carnes of the Denton Police Department. Officers Bell, Green, and Carnes are tremendous assets to the City of Denton community and work hard to keep Denton's citizens and visitors safe while on the roadways. While these officers are part of the traffic enforcement section, they are mainly tasked with DWI enforcement, training, and education. From January 2020 through September 2020, the 3 officers accounted for 123 DWI arrests. Officers Greens and Carnes are both field training officers who provide training in DWI enforcement to recruits. The DWI enforcement field training provided by officers Green and Carnes is part of why the Denton PD Operations Bureau has made 463 DWI arrests as of September 2020. Denton is a college town with 2 major universities, so their work directly impacts the largest segment of the drinking population. Furthermore, Officers Green is the only DRE expert for the Denton Police Department and being an SFST instructor. He spends many hours teaching in the academy in addition to field training. He works with other DREs in Denton County regularly and is our expert in the field of drug driving. Officer Carnes is embarking on becoming an FSST instructor and will undoubtedly excel in that role. The Denton Police Department has made DWI enforcement a top priority. All 3 of these officers are proactive and generate arrests. There is no doubt that these officers' hard work is saving lives. As their nominator wrote, their dedication to the craft and their genuine desire to make the streets safer not only saves lives, but is worthy of recognition. On behalf of the Texas Impaired Driving Task Force, congratulations, Officers Bell, Green, and Carnes. Next, we would like to present the Difference Maker Award to Officers Dane Bryant and Jeff Hogue of the Abilene Police Department. In 2018, Officers Hogue and Bryant of the Abilene Police Department became the agency's first drug recognition experts. Throughout their training, Officers Hogue and Bryant displayed a passion and commitment for combating impaired driving. The course of training to become a certified DRE is difficult and it requires sacrifice on the part of the officers and their department. The Abilene Police Department demonstrated a commitment to enhancing the quality of their drug-impaired driving enforcement, and Officers Hogue and Bryant focused their energies to complete the training successfully. This time included intensive classroom training and many additional days completing their field training to obtain their certifications. The time and difficulty in achieving status as a DRE reflect a level of commitment by Officers Hogue and Bryant above and beyond to make their community safer. After completing the class and becoming certified DREs, Officers Hogue and Bryant further committed to be on call to assist their agency with DRE evaluations during their time off. The number of evaluations they performed at all hours of the day, being awakened in the middle of the night on their days off, underscores the passion these 2 officers displayed in reducing drug-impaired driving. In 2019, the Abilene Police Department's team of just 2 DREs performed significantly more evaluations than agencies with more DREs and resources, making them among the top 10 performers in the state of Texas for the number of evaluations conducted. Since becoming certified, Officers Hogue and Bryant have conducted 36 evaluations, reflecting a level of work well above the national average of evaluations conducted by DREs. Additionally, Officers Hogue and Bryant continue to expand their knowledge by seeking more experienced DREs when situations or difficult evaluations arise. As their nominator wrote, there is no doubt that the City of Abilene benefits from the commitment that Officers Hogue and Bryant have made in their dedication to the DRE program and in removing dangerous drug-impaired driving suspects off the street. On behalf of the Texas Impaired Driving Task Force, congratulations, Officer Hogue and Bryant. Last but not least, we'd like to congratulate Capital Metro, Austin's public transit, for being difference makers in their community. The Capital Metro of Austin is the primary provider of public transportation in Austin, Texas. Capital Metro of Austin is working closely with Vision Zero, the Texas Pedestrian Safety Coalition, Crossroads Coalition, Texas Department of Transportation, Austin Police Department, and other organizations to make the Texas roads safer. Furthermore, Cap Metro is a recipient of multiple awards from the Austin Public Transportation Association, World Safety Organization, Federal Highway Safety Organization, and other institutions to focus on road safety. Positive implementation of the drug and alcohol program is one of the major contributing factors in this success. Following the Federal Transit Administration's requirements, the Capital Metro of Austin has implemented a comprehensive drug and alcohol substance abuse program, which covers 200 employees and over 2,000 contractors and vendors. Every person working for the Capital Metro of Austin as an employer or contractor receives a copy of the drug and alcohol policy. Additionally, every driver and technician working for Capital Metro contractors, which is about 2,000 people, receive training on the drug and alcohol program and policy during the new hire process. As part of the program, random tests for drugs and alcohol were conducted 7 days a week around the clock, with testing numbers exceeding the federal requirements. This program is so efficient that despite the significant number of people in the 2019 fiscal year, they had 0 incidents resulting from impaired driving. This army of more than 2,000 people is well disciplined, as everyone is aware that any DWI incident, even when off duty, will result in termination. The majority of employees and contractors working for the Capital Metro are role models for other motorists in this respect. On behalf of the Texas Impaired Driving Task Force, congratulations, Capital Metro, Austin Public Transit. That concludes the Difference Maker Award presentation. Now, let's move to our top award. It is my honor to announce that the 2021 Texas Impaired Driving Safety Champion Award is given to Judge Kevin Madison of Lakeway Municipal Courts.
My passion in drive evolved from having been a police officer for approximately 8 years, working wrecks, seeing the carnage from crashes, high speed, and impaired driving, coupled with the fact that in my role as an EMT first responder, having to treat these people and responding to the scenes.
I met Judge Madison in 2008, and he has got such a strong passion for impaired driving and safety and addressing all ages well beyond the bench.
Impaired driving could be impaired driving by people who are driving when they're so tired they couldn't keep their eyes open, but usually it was alcohol and drugs, and I've seen the surge now with more of the drugs on board than alcohol.
I know that in my first position, at the time, my children were in elementary school. I have some twins. And at the time, we were working on getting judges in the classroom as a prevention measure. And of course, he shows up with his robe. He does such a great job. And he talks to, these youth, these young kids. All right. Well, he also invests of his own time to volunteer as a firefighter and for crash scenes, so there he is making a difference. He has volunteered with the rollover crash simulator, and I know he has spent time at community events doing that as well. He has invested of his time in so many different ways, whether we talk about professional time, he's doing peer-to-peer education with other judges and other courts. He doesn't see a boundary of this is where my job stops as a judge. He sees as how do I help everybody else bring them to the same level I want to be at.
TxIDTF, my court in Lakeway, we've actually won 8 awards for TxIDTF for traffic safety initiatives. Everything from things that we've done in our court, like bumper sticker, graphics. I've had poster contests for high school in my court. We use the teen driving contract in my court so parents can download a teen driving contract, different things like that. The MAD award was because I do a lot of things for law enforcement, make myself available as a state magistrate in my capacity of reviewing affidavits and issuing blood search warrants 24/7. Every day of the year, I'm available for them to get a blood search warrant, along with Texas Highway Patrol, Travis County Sheriff's Office, and several of the other county entities. So that's just some of the things I do to make myself available. It's a lot, but I feel like I'm doing my part in trying to keep the drunk drivers, the impaired drivers off the street. I was actually quite surprised when I heard that I was receiving this award, and it's an honor to me because Texas A&M and the Transportation Institute and the Texas Impaired Driving Task Force and TxDOT are the pinnacle, they're the front runners and innovators and leaders in transportation safety, I feel, not only in Texas, but in the United States and probably throughout the world. I was a prosecutor at the DA's office, and I was a juvenile prosecutor for juvenile court. And I used to think, juvenile court, that's just, kids and dealing with that. And it's more fun really getting into the adult, prosecution. But later on, I realized, once they're adults, your chances of changing that behavior are probably pretty minuscule compared to getting in juvenile prosecution. Well, that's kind of the way I feel about it in municipal court. We are dealing with a lot of young kids, whether it be alcohol violation cases, driving under influence, or traffic violations. And if you can make an impact, and I've had a couple of young ones come back to me and tell me, by doing that probation, by making me do those things, Judge, you really changed my view, and I will never drink and drive again. And to me, if I've saved one person and prevented one crash, I'll go to my deathbed knowing I'm very happy about it.
As you heard in the video, Judge Madison truly goes above and beyond his everyday work responsibilities to improve traffic safety in the community. Judge Madison is known as the firefighter judge, as a volunteer firefighter and a first responder EMT for over 12 years. Judge Madison is also a former elected president of the Texas Municipal Courts Association and Texas Municipal Courts Education Center, which directs the state-mandated education of over 950 municipal courts and over 1,200 municipal judges throughout Texas. Judge Madison volunteers his time on the weekends at local public safety events, such as the Lake Travis Public Safety Day. At this event, Lakeway Municipal Courts had a booth and 2 active exhibits featuring the Texas A&M Rollover Convincer and DWI impairment goggles. They handed out traffic safety brochures and traffic safety coloring books. During the 2019 Public Safety Day, it is estimated that approximately 500 persons attended the event and stopped by the booth and live exhibits. Additionally, in 2019, Lakeway Municipal Court had handed out over 200 traffic safety brochures. Additionally, Judge Madison volunteers his time at no cost, 24/7, as an on-call state magistrate for Central Texas law enforcement agencies, including Texas Parks and Wildlife Game Wardens, DPS Highway Patrol Troopers, Lower Colorado River Authority Rangers, Travis County Sheriff's Department deputies, and the Texas Alcohol Beverage Commission agents. Besides serving as an on-call state magistrate for DWI blood search warrants, Judge Madison's work with Texas game wardens on an area of lakes has helped law enforcement efforts in reducing boating while intoxicated cases and boat crashes on area lakes. When impaired driving boaters, drivers, and passengers dock, they transition to impaired drivers on Texas roads and highways. Prosecuting intoxicated boaters and increasing the public's awareness of boating while intoxicated enforcement initiatives through increased media efforts has increased public awareness of this problem and has decreased intoxicated boaters on area lakes. Judge Madison also volunteers as an unpaid on-call magistrate for Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission officers. Judge Madison assists TABC officers by reviewing evidentiary search warrants applications for bars that overserve intoxicated patrons who later died or caused a fatal crash. TABC implemented a new program several years ago to investigate and prosecute bar owners who serve intoxicated patrons. Judge Madison has issued evidentiary search warrants to help TABC stop unscrupulous bar owners from serving intoxicated patrons. Judge Madison is genuinely deserving of the Safety Champion Award for his dedication to helping make our roadways safer so we can all get home at the end of the night. On behalf of the Texas Impaired Driving Task Force, congratulations, Judge Kevin Madison. I think we can all agree that this year's Safety Award recipients have made an incredible impact on impaired driving in our state. Their efforts are, in a word, exceptional. Keep up the exceptional work. Congratulations to all 2021 Texas Impaired Driving Safety recipients. If you know of an individual or organization making outstanding contributions to impaired driving safety, please take a few minutes to nominate them. We're now accepting nominations for the 2022 award recipients. You can also access nominations forms the Impaired Driving Task Force website. Again, congratulations to all of this year's award recipients.